Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Toon Review for TTR Friday. We are live. We are here. It's working. We're very, very sorry about last night, folks, but unfortunately, completely out of our hands. We had absolutely nothing to do with what happened. It was a serious malfunction in the matrix somewhere on StreamYard side, and we could not go live. No matter what we did to try and resolve it, we were just getting very strange messages on the screen. So we had to pull the plug after around 10 minutes. It didn't actually resolve itself till early hours of the morning, I think. So it would have been pointless going on air at 2 o'clock in the morning. Although you guys probably would have got out of bed. We know what you like in the TTR group. However, good evening. And I am joined tonight by Lady Sam. And welcome back to Stato after his little jaunt over to Turkey. New teeth, Alex, or new hair or anything like that?
Nah, same teeth, same hair, I'm afraid. A little bit more tanned, but that's it.
Good. Now, we don't know where Billy is. We kind of do know where Billy is. Billy will probably be on the sofa, fast asleep, and then he'll wake up after around 7:05 and think, oh, shit. And then suddenly he'll come on. His eyes will be all strained because he won't know where the hell he is. It's just one of those things, guys, with Billy, isn't it? He likes his afternoon naps. Lady Sam, how are we doing? We haven't seen you since Tuesday. Everything cooking fine in the I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, all good. Busy week at work. I was away down in London, and so all good. Pleased it's the weekend, mind, and we've had a bit of nice weather today. Love that.
Yeah, thunderstorms are upon us, Sam. From 7 till 8 tonight, we're up here in the northeast. We're expected to be hit by lightning and thunder, so it's going to be an electric start to the weekend, Sam. You know what I'm saying? So there you go.
Oh, I love that. Get in.
Indeed. Alex, obviously there's been various different bits of news with regards to Newcastle United over the last week or so that you've been away. Nothing's come to fruition yet, funny enough. But we've come to the conclusion that there's a 4-player, I don't know how to put this, 4 players really that are the main targets for Newcastle, and then the additional ones maybe with PSR, etc. The 4 we're thinking about is Trafford, Gahey, and of course Alanga and Joao Pedro. What do you reckon?
Yeah, they would all be solid signings. Pricey for all of them.
Indeed.
Which would be curious, especially the recent Craig Hope info that they're wanting as much as 40 for Trafford. You know, Pedro is likely to be around 60, so that's 100 straight off the bat before you even talk about the other 2. So it makes it quite pricey. Finally, I've seen today that Luke Edwards and Mark Douglas have been having a little bit of a play together online. It was quite funny. Potentially talking about foreign signings from outside of the Premier League, which thank God, because we need to save a bit of money. You can find talent outside of the Premier League. I mean, the spine of our squad was purchased from abroad and are all brilliant in Tonali, Isak, Botman, Bruno. So there is nothing wrong with buying players from abroad at all. So a few of the outside shouts I quite like. Chavalier's pretty good for Lille. I've been doing my research on him while I've been away, and he's a very good goalkeeper. He could be a nice alternative. And then there's a few other things floating around as well. There's been Diamande talks today. I say talks. Journalists have mentioned him a few times.
Yeah. There's still a lot to look forward to, though, is what we're saying, isn't there? I mean, there's still, Sam at the beginning of the week was a little bit flummoxed and a little bit annoyed with how quiet we'd been. I suppose the big worry there, Sam, is that we still don't want to get left behind. You know, you look at Man City and Liverpool, the way they're recruiting at the minute, they're really going about their business. I mean, Manchester City wanted to get it done for the Club World Cup and all that crap. But Liverpool are recruiting well. Wirtz is now almost through the door. So we do need to start recruiting pretty quickly, don't we? Because, the teams around us, our rivals in the Premier League, they're recruiting well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for me, it was the conflict in we all assumed that we would be moving quite quickly in this transfer window based on comments from Mr. Howe himself. So that was fair. And then we had the unexpected contract extensions.
Well, let's just jump that on. I don't know whether Alex might be aware of this. Are you aware of Mark Gillespie, Alex?
Well, yeah, I'm aware he was in the retained list.
Yeah, he's been given a year's contract.
Oh, is that official? They've announced that by the club, have they?
Yes.
No, I think it's a waste of money. I think it's ridiculous. I love the club, and I think we're being run fairly well. In order, well, we're being run exceptionally well in some departments and very good in others and good in others. Nothing I would say is bad, but this is one of the ones that I'm sure he's a lovely bloke, and I'm sure he probably, if he knows about this channel, I'm sure he hates me. That's fine, Mark. Do what you want, but you're costing £40 a month for the club. It's probably every channel. I'd be shocked if anybody disagrees.
Oh, look at it. What does say? What does say? Between 7:05 and 7:10, he would come on here with his eyes looking all
Billy, we're talking about Mark Gillespie.
Who?
Yeah, well, exactly.
Were we right to presume where you were, Billy?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
Warm day.
It's been a warm day. Indeed. I mean, Alex, how did you feel about the news that we were potentially going to talk to Callum Wilson about a year's contract?
No, I'm done with all of that. I think it's ridiculous. I think with the kind of signings that we're trying to make and the potential contracts we want to offer to existing players to encourage them to stay, these people are saying, oh, it's only 10 grand a week. Well, no, that could be a 10 grand bump for somebody that we want to stay. Yeah. It could be a pay rise for a player to sort of say, you're fantastic, we want you to stay, here's our appreciation. We can't go and give you what basically the fraudulent clubs are giving because they've got their cooked books through selling hotels and doing all the other things. We're doing it a legitimate way. This is what we can offer.
Todd Bowley.
So
hope you're well.
and yeah, it's not as much in the grand scheme of things, but 10 and 20k a week here and there is a good bump for a player, massively. You know, you can say, look, we're going to throw you in the leadership group and here's an extra 20 grand a week or something.
Yeah.
That's a huge extra bit of negotiating power for the club on re-signing contracts or signing new players.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this Mark Gillespie's not going to play football. As far as I'm aware, we signed John Ruddy for a leadership and coaching capacity or whatever he is. Big daddy goalkeeper. Who knows? We seem to have 4 of them that do the same role and don't play at all. So it's nonsense. It's absolutely nonsense. And I'm sure the club are fully aware that the fans are not happy with it, but they've chosen to do it for whatever reason.
And can we be really clear? This comes up all of the time. People keep on saying homegrown quota.
Oh,
he's not homegrown.
He's not homegrown.
No, he doesn't count. He does nothing for the club because he doesn't play. He doesn't count to anything. He does nothing.
No, people need to stop going on about the Champions League quota because it's nothing to do with Champions League. He is not homegrown. It has nothing to do with that quota.
No. So, and if anybody comes out and says, "Oh, but training standards," because Eddie Howe talks about training standards, I'm not buying that.
Fucking trading standards. I'm not fucking trading standards.
Trading standards. Yeah.
I'm not saying he's lying, but well. That's the only thing there is to say. It's not. It can't be that because we've watched him play football. We're not blind.
Yeah. Lima81 is a new member of the channel. Welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much. Dr. House with a couple of super chats. Hi, Paul Stato and Lady Sam. He then goes on to say hi, Billy. Would love a Langer to join and link with Isak. I think it will be a great combination. Peter Garthwaite says the Athletic are claiming that PAF are planning to wait till later in the window as they expect the transfer fees will be cheaper. I think they're probably more talking about PSR there when the PSR deadline approaches. But Billy, how just for laughter's sake, how are you feeling tonight on the news that Thomas Frank has gone after Mbeumo and they might hijack the Newton Heath deal?
I think it's hilarious. I think it's fantastic. Not only have they nicked their Champions League spot by beating them in the Europa League final, and they're going to nick their signings. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. And by the way, to the real Nancy's on X from Manchester United supporters group who keep firing stuff at me when I'm laughing at Newton Heath, you guys bite like a great white shark at times. And, I put that out today saying, I put a little heading on X saying, wouldn't it be hilarious if, he's been here 2 minutes and he's gone already. Wouldn't it be wouldn't it be hilarious if Mbeumo turned down Newton Heath and the Manchester United fans, and then they were saying, well, yeah, but look how much you were crying over Cunha. Did we ever cry over Cunha?
No, we cried over Mbeumo, not
Mbeumo, yeah, but certainly not Cunha. So I don't know where they got that from. So I kindly replied. But yeah, absolutely shocking. Now, one other story that came around today, actually, just when I was going through this afternoon, was Quansah at Liverpool again is linked with Newcastle United. But get this, how much do you think, if we went for Quansah, how much would you pay for him?
25 tops.
Yeah. Probably he's probably 25 to 30 in reality, but I think they're going to whack potential on that. They're going to whack potential value and the fact he's a Liverpool player.
Joe, how much Liverpool apparently want for him if Newcastle come in?
I'm going to say something
40.
Stupid like 50. No, I was going to say 50,
40 million quid.
Jog on, man.
I mean, you think of the centre backs out there that we could pay 40 million quid for? I'm sorry, and Quansah, he didn't play a lot last season. He played a few games here and there, made some substitute appearances, played in the cup final, of course.
If Quansah's worth 40, then Kraft is worth 20 at least.
Well, yeah, but if Quansah's 40, what the hell are Palace going to look and say? Well, if Quansah's 40, what's gay? I mean, we're getting into all that.
Absolutely bananas at the moment.
Yeah.
A few of the big clubs have ruined the market. The values are just stupid.
Depends on his contract, how long he got left, and of course he's younger than Gay as well. So, I mean, 40 million for Gay is fair.
I mean, look, Liverpool are going to be absolute fire next season. By the way, the players they are signing at the minute, they are getting some good ones in. But they're paying. I mean, they're splashing the cash, aren't they?
Well, do you know what we should do? Go in for a cheeky Harvey Elliott bid because he's, he'll make them good money. And he's come out publicly and said
he was linked with us earlier in the week, Alex. I did do
a right winger. He's a left-footed right winger. He's English. He ticks every box. I think Liverpool have spent a lot of money, and we can go. We'll give you 35. What do you think? Do you want to have a chat? Should we pull up a chair? Maybe we should definitely go for that. 100. It might not be the best option, but to put him in the squad. Because Murphy's not going to be around forever, so we're going to need two right wingers eventually, right? So
he can play more than one place. Well, it's not just a right winger; he can play as a 10. He can do lots of things. He plays an 8. Really good player.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was linked with us earlier in the week because he does. The rumor is that he is expected to leave Liverpool to get more first team football, especially now. With the signings that they're bringing in. Of course, we still don't know what the situation is. We keep seeing reports again today linking Liverpool with Isak, linking Liverpool with Gordon. The Isak story's never going to...
£116 million on Florian Wirtz.
Yep.
What?
They were saying that there's a possibility of a £114 million bid for Isak. However, I do believe... And we spoke about this when Alex was away, Billy, and Sam, because you were on the shows at the beginning of the week, that if Diaz leaves Liverpool, Liverpool will go in for Gordon, and I think that will happen.
Yeah.
Well, they better pay up.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We're not going to sort of do cheapskates and things like that. But by the way, massive well done to Tino Livramento last night. Incredible performance for the under-21s last night. And will Asula go
in the senior squad?
Well, yes, but I've looked at some reports today saying is it a bad thing that they left him out the senior squad to give him a tournament with the 21s?
Yeah, I think so.
They could have called him up and played him in both matches instead of playing absolute dross. Instead of playing the Chelsea right back Reece James, who's struggling and is past it because he scored a free kick. Everyone's like, "Oh, he's back." No, he's been shit for 3 years. And you got Carl Walker, who's I'm so done with it. I'm done with Thomas.
We didn't even cover England. We didn't even cover England on this channel because
I was furious. I went specifically. I had to haggle and negotiate with my wife for the evening to go and watch the England game, the Senegal match, and they gave that. I want my time back, Thomas. You absolute fraud.
I've got a Billy's beef about that, actually. You can do it now if you want.
Okay, let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, we haven't had this for a while, but those of you that are new to the channel, on a TTR Friday, we normally have Sam's Wine, Billy's Beef, Stato's, what's it called? Shamed by Stato. We do daft introductions to these, so welcome if you're new to TTR Friday. But Billy's obviously revved up here because he's looking a bit mean now. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Billy's Beef.
Here's Billy.
And by the way, those of you that have been asking what the cow represents, who are new to the channel, Daisy the cow is the channel mascot. Daisy's been a part of this channel for a long, long time now as a channel mascot. So that's why the cows go in the emojis when Daisy comes on the screen, etc. Right, Billy, take your beef and run with it, my man. Hello?
No.
He looks very sad as well.
Doesn't he?
He's very pensive there.
Can somebody screenshot that and turn it into a meme, please?
Yes, please.
That's what Thomas Tuchel does to people when he manages a national team.
I mean, I don't know what's happened.
Unless he's about to win an Oscar.
Oh, that's class. Frozen beef. Brilliant. Superb. Oh dear, I don't know what's happened to Billy. He's vanished. I'm sure he'll be coming back in a second, but I mean, I give him a perfect introduction there, and I didn't realize he'd frozen. So we'll do Billy's beef, of course, if and when we see Billy again. I mean, I think he was very much in tears there, and wasn't happy about some Billy's defrosting. Oh my God! Anyway, that's
betrayed.
Anyway, in the meantime, do we have a Sam's Wine?
Why roll it?
Why I get in right. So we'll do Sam's Wine first, ladies and gents. While we wait for the return of Mr. Trey.
Oh my God! What is that?
It's sweeter than molasses. She got gliss on my wrist like a maverick. She a rich little bitch with some baggage.
I've just realized that soundtrack says she's a rich little bitch. Never mind.
She
anyway,
does okay.
Yeah, she does. Right, who's your wine tonight, Sam?
The entitled Newton Heath fan base. We've touched on it already, but this is just that blissful irony which is coming out. And they've had a really tough season, and I genuinely feel for the people who've been made redundant, sacked, the awful situations that have been happening there. Oh, here he is. There he is.
Continue your wine, Sam.
You're on pause, Billy. I'm going now. Anyway, yeah, all of the horrible natured Newton Heath fans out there giving it the big one, prodding the bear. You haven't made any signings. We've got Cunha. All right, okay, good for you. Umbuemo, Alex rightfully said, yes, we were absolutely gutted about that one. And the amount of wages that we were on, I really questioned the player's integrity when I saw that report as well. And it is blissful to even hear a garnishing report that he might be off to Spurs. It's absolutely fantastic. As soon as they get a glimmer of good news, they're out on the high horses, so ridiculously high, they're getting bloody vertigo. It's insane how they go on sometimes. So I am thrilled about this news. It's just sticking it right up them. No Vaseline either. And I'm here for it. So that's me for this week, lads.
Superb. Well said.
Thank you.
Billy, can I just ask you, mate? Your thoughts? What was going through your mind at this precise stage?
I know, sorry. that was exactly what I had on the screen. I couldn't even get out. I had to just turn the computer off.
Oh, class.
Was it? I mean, it was Thomas
like
Tuchel
last
just destroying your inner soul.
Kind of. I really want to say what I've got to say as well.
Right, go on and take your beef and run with it this time.
Well, we can all question his team selections, and we all have, and we all did. The game against Senegal I thought was outrageous. The fact it was a friendly and we had Harry Kane on the pitch for 70 minutes. He brought a player in from the Saudi League over 2 games of football. And in the second game, he brought Morgan Rogers on ahead of him as a centre forward while he was sat on the bench. 88 minutes. Complete lack of disrespect. And Ivan Toney's been much maligned and rightly so at times. But I just felt that was a real case of disrespect to a professional footballer. 2 games of football to leave him sitting on the bench to the 88th minute when we're losing the game. It's a friendly game. He hasn't seen him. I mean, we all know what Harry Kane can do. All these players are on the pitch for so long, and we all know what they can do. And then he put Morgan Rogers up front ahead of Ivan Toney. He's not even Morgan Rogers is even a striker. But then to leave him on the bench, just kind of clicking his heels, and you can see on his face how pissed off he was, and quite rightly. I just felt it was a complete and utter lack of respect for the player, professional footballer. Who was in the England squad, and whether we like him or not, Ivan Toney, he's not. To me, he's been much maligned and quite rightly, and possibly shouldn't be in the England squad. But the fact he was in it, I felt it was awful management from the manager, who I'm pissed off with already. As Stato said earlier, I'd get rid of him now. I think he's awful.
Yeah, he's not giving us much hope for the World Cup next year. It's just dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. But thank you for that beef eventually, Billy. Well said. Now, Sam, question. Where is Tino Livramento's best position?
This is what I put in the chat, wasn't it? I'm scratching my head about it now. I mean, shining at left back. And that gives us and Eddie a very difficult decision for next season, because we've got Hall, who's tremendous. I love them both so much. If we can get them, well, Tino interchangeable. Wow, what a player! What players they are anyway. But this is going to be really difficult. I actually think that he's more comfortable on the left. The runs that he goes on, he can make the overlap, underlaps. He's really great. The link ups that he has with Barnes. Obviously, if Gordon maybe going, we don't know that. There's no links. I'm just hypothesizing here. Indeed. He works really well with Barnes. So yeah, I don't know. How do you lads feel about it?
Well, I mean, look, he's for me, he played better at left back when he moved to the left-hand side than he did on the right last year. I think he struggled early doors, didn't he? But then he went out to the left and he was absolutely outstanding. Now, obviously, look, Lewis Hall is the number 1 left back in Newcastle United. There's no arguments at all from me on that. However,
can we outright say that now?
Yes.
Not sure we can.
Come on.
I mean, we won the cup final with Tino playing left back, and we played. He was. I absolutely love Lewis Hall as well. I prefer him as a player technically, but
look, I listen. He's up there, Alex, definitely. But I think Hall is the number 1.
You said that Hall is 100% the number 1 left back.
I believe that. Yeah. Well, that's my own belief. I believe that when Lewis Hall is fit,
I believe that as well.
I think that Hall is the right left back, but I'm saying it's not 100%. I think it's definitely.
Well, in my mind, it is.
It is in mine as well.
I think Hall was outstanding before he got injured. I mean, levels above. How many times did we do match ratings and match reviews and say, absolutely, very, very different players. But you look at the way Hall was beginning to link up with Anthony Gordon or whoever was on the left-hand side, the overlapping. But Tino's starting to do that, don't get me wrong. But Lewis Hall, for me, is 100% the starting left back. But where does it leave Tino? Because if Tino goes back to right back and he struggles, what happens then? Do people then say, well, Tino Livramento is a left back? Because for me, he was so much better on the left than he was on the right last season.
I want to see him back. I want to see him back at right back.
Yeah.
I want to see him back at right back, personally. I think for going back to right back, I think it'd be better there now. I think the confidence of playing on the left might help him on the right. And he's a right-footed player, so absolutely he's got to be right back for me.
Surely to God, Alex, that we have the England fullbacks at Newcastle United for years to come. They should be the England fullback, because Lewis Skelly, do not get me started. The hype around him is fucking ridiculous, by the way. This is Stato's. Here we go. Take it away, man.
Well, it's more of I'll answer what you said, Paul, with Lewis Skelly, and kind of it's a follow on from Billy's beef. It is how we used every player on the pitch in that England game, and the Newcastle players as well, specifically. I had the unfortunate pleasure, if that's the right word, of sitting next to an Arsenal fan who immediately outed me as a Newcastle fan, because basically I was going, oh, what is going on with like everyone else? And then Gordon got a shot blocked, which got us the goal. So it was Gordon effectively that got us the goal with Harry Kane poaching. And I was like, finally, somebody did something with wing play. Saka's done nothing. And funnily enough, the Arsenal fan goes, oh, you're a Newcastle fan then? It's like, well, yeah, I'm guessing you're an Arsenal fan because your lads are absolutely shite today. Rice was poor, Lewis Skelly was poor, Saka was poor. They were all really poor. And bridging on from that, yeah, Lewis Skelly is certainly not, in my mind, he's not a good left back. If we're going to talk about left back as a full back defender, you're a defender first and foremost. There's very Trenty vibes about him, and not through passing range, but through running and technical ability, which is great. But it's running and tricks, and it's not always what you need. And I do think long term, Lewis Hall should be groomed for that proper left back role for England, because he's far superior defensively. He can dictate tempo. He's so much more gifted with his passing, and we need a player like that. Skelly is not the guy at all. I think Arsenal fans are utterly deluded if they cannot see that. Hall is far superior over the course of the season. Well, it was media limelight that blinded everybody through that. I'd just like to point out how poor our lineup was, because it was dreadful. Colwell was playing in his preferred position, and I am staggered at how bad he was. Awful. Positionally, reading the flight of the ball, just absolutely everything was shocking. Poor Dean Henderson was, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Henderson because of his weird attitude, but I felt really sorry for him because his defenders were giving him an absolute horror show to try and deal with. Chalobah was meh, not an I don't think he's an international level defender. He's a good defender, but he struggled. Carl Walker's too old. Saka was just
Jordan Henderson, man. Fuck off, will you? Jesus Christ.
What was the point in Saka even being there? Conor Gallagher. I mean,
listen, Conor Gallagher did really well for Atletico Madrid. Let's not forget.
He has, but he essentially did an Almiron midfield role for England and just ran around, just doing a bit of that. It was nothing else. Nothing else happened.
Those fans that are going, well, Howie, it's an end of a long season, all this kind of garbage. Give over, will you? Look at the
Plenty of other
opposition, for
players
Christ's
that
sake.
can
If we
play.
can't beat that opposition, I mean,
it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And there are some good players for Senegal. Don't get me wrong. They've still got Koulibaly
Absolutely.
in there. They've got Gay in midfield. They've got Sarr and Jackson. You know, Mendy's still in goal. So they've got, you know, they're not just a team of riffraff. They've got 5 or 6 players in there that are all in top divisions, that have won trophies, that are doing things. So they're not absolutely not riffraff. But we are England, and we've been in 2 finals in the last few tournaments. It's absolutely woeful. It's woeful. If you're going to experiment,
that's the
experiment with players.
First time in 150 years that we've lost to an African nation.
Yeah.
Wait. There you go. That shows it all. But I just think we're wasting time.
So much it was the World Cup qualifier that we played. It was Andorra.
Yeah.
I mean, that was shocking as well.
Andorra 1-0. I mean, it was
shocking.
Dreadful.
We need to fast track. Like we're on pause. We're delaying. The whole point in Thomas Tuchel was to recycle and to use the players that are going to help us try and win the World Cup. You've got Adam Wharton, needs to be fast tracked immediately. You need players like Tino Livramento. You've got players like Elliot Anderson. Bring him in, give him a go, because Conor Gallagher's clearly not the guy at international level, nor is Jordan Henderson. Give Elliot Anderson a cap. Integrate him into the senior
Sean
setup.
says here, players don't want to play in friendlies in June. Well, don't pick them then. You know, if they don't want to play for England, I'm sorry.
They shouldn't be allowed to play if they
don't want to play for their country. Fuck them and don't pick them again, because they know when they start every season that they are within a chance of playing in summer games for England.
Did Wharton go to the under-21s? Is he gone, Wharton? Because he didn't get a game last night.
I think I'm not.
He doesn't look like he was in the lineup or in the squad. Maybe he's injured or something. Don't know. He might be injured.
Somebody will let us know. But
the whole thing, though, we all want Tuchel out with the sound of things. But if we all want Tuchel out, who comes in?
Well, it's been mentioned in the chat already,
and it's gonna happen. This time it will happen.
I mean, well, hypothetically, Sam, if Tuchel did go, which, listen, I don't think there's a chance that they sack the England manager before the World Cup. It's not going to happen. But if it did, hypothetically, and they came calling for Eddie Howe, do you think he'd go?
These hypotheticals are frightening.
Oh, I know. They're brilliant, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. I still think it's too early for Howe. We talked about this when the rumour mill was circulating last time. He's so hands-on. He absolutely loves it, being at the training ground every single day. I think he will absolutely be the England manager one day, and I would love to see it, but I still think it is too soon. I think Alex has made a really good point. We have the opportunity to expedite not only the journey of players who are going to help us in that World Cup, but we need to get that job done now. This is the opportunity. This is the time to create cohesion with players who maybe haven't been in England squad before, players who haven't played together before. They may have faced each other, but they may not have played as a team together. That's what we needed to do. And seeing some, dead wood like grandeur from days of yore again come out and put on an England top. And the thought that some of these
manager does. Every single one comes in and says, "Oh, it's a fresh start. It's a new dawn for England." And then they bring the likes of Jordan Henderson back in and Kyle Walker and all that. I mean, it's not a new dawn, is it?
It's a new dusk. My God, it's dusk and dusty. Like, we just don't need them. We've got so much promising talent, and if we can get the balance right and do it early, then we've got a real shot in the World Cup. But right now, that team selection, the lineup, the tactics, everything was dog shit. Some of the comments that he's made, I think he was something about his mother saying something about she hates Bellingham's attitude or something. Like, pipe your mother down. What on earth are you talking about? It's just ridiculous. And every single player that's the highest accolade. Putting on an England shirt is the highest accolade to play.
Well, it used to be. I don't think it is anymore, Sab, to be honest. You look at some of the body language from the players, and it's just like, well, can't be asked.
That's down to the manager. That's down to the manager for me.
Yeah.
You should be playing for England, enjoying yourself.
If I had players like that in the dressing room with that kind of attitude, then I'd just say, right, you're not playing.
There's one more thing that's concerning about the manager is playing players out of position, but not just a singular one. It was most of them. Against Andorra, you've got Curtis Jones generally in defence. You've got Henderson on the left side when he was predominantly on the right side for Liverpool of midfield, doing wide cover considerably. You've got Rodgers out on the right when he's played mostly on the left for Villa. You've got Madueke on the left when he's played mostly on the right for Chelsea.
Yep.
What are we doing? You've got Bellingham deep when we all know Real Madrid won a Champions League when Bellingham was the guy. What? By the way,
did you hear Craig Hope? He was damnation on Bellingham and his attitude. Has anybody seen that?
I haven't. But I mean,
it's just misplaced. It's misplaced anger.
Maybe.
Jude Bellingham was the only reason we got to the final of the last major tournament. He carried us through it, and he looked tired and leggy. He had the Harry Kane legs, and he still carried us because he's like one of the best players in the world. Yeah. So, but I'm done. I'm done with Thomas Tuchel. Absolutely. I know these are it was a qualifier and a friendly. Therefore, he had the opportunity to just pick whatever, but he didn't. I was expecting him to pick unused, untested. You know, I'm happy with things like Morgan, Rodgers, and Madueke getting minutes. That's more of what I wanted. Less of the Curtis Jones as a right back, Jordan Henderson getting minutes, Carl Walker getting minutes, everyone playing out of position. What are we doing? What are we doing?
And Carl Walker, Curtis Jones is right back while he had a right back playing at left back. This is making sense.
Yeah.
We're not going to get out of our group if we play like this. If this doesn't improve, we're not getting out of our group. Absolutely. Not at all. Not going to happen.
Dan Robinson with a super chat. Obviously came earlier on when we were talking about Tino. He says, Tino's great at left back, but can he displace Lewis Hall? Well, let's turn the attention back to Newcastle because it seems to me like Joao Pedro, Billy, is desperate to come to Newcastle. If you read what he has been quoted as saying these last few days, he also said, we touched on this earlier in the week, actually, when he also turned around and said that he very nearly signed for Newcastle United from Watford, and he was devastated when the move didn't happen.
Yeah, I think if they get a chance to talk to him and we give the money that Brighton want, then I think it'll come. Simple as that for me. I think he'll walk here. But it's whether we can agree with Brighton. They seem to want more than what we seem to be offering, but again, it's whether we can afford to pay for him, I guess. At this moment in time, maybe they have to wait after the PSR window shuts and maybe sign him in July, but I'd love to see him come personally.
I mean,
maybe we should channel that in a Newton Heath attitude and go and just try and demand it and say, oh, well, they paid 34 for him and we're offering 60 or maybe near that. So he's not happy there. He wants to play for a big club. Come play for us. Is that how we do it? Is that how we behave?
Indeed. Channel Right with a super chat. The brightest players, Gordon, Everton and Kane. Who's Everton? I mean, that's obviously a spell check gone seriously wrong there. But I'd
be Eze. It's a big autocorrect. But
it's a stretch.
And Peter Merrifield with a super chat saying, hi, the TTR family. Wales lost away to Belgium 4-3 after being 3-0 down after half an hour. That's the way to play football, KK style. It was a brilliant performance from Wales. But
we play Wales next, strange enough, and they'll batter us.
Oh, Wales! If we play like that, Wales played to the way they've been. But Bellamy's got them firing, hasn't he? I mean, that's only one defeat in is it 10 or 11 games?
Yeah.
He's got them really playing well. And by the way, again, another interview done with Craig Bellamy about bankruptcy and things like that, and a warning to younger footballers just to really pick your friends when you're sort of a footballer, because he went into a lot of detail about how his friends used him to lend money off him and things like that. And even his what he classed as his best friend, did the same and disappeared into the sunset. And he was left in a lot of debt, which I think, Sam, is a good thing for Craig to do, because he's warning younger football. Listen, Bellamy had his moments, don't get me wrong, but he's matured as a man now. He's Wales manager. But it's a good warning to put out there, isn't it?
Absolutely. And it's sort of stewardship and almost like a guardian type of role, because a lot of these players are getting these crazy wage packets now, and it's so easy just to, you know, take my yen, spend it on anything you like. But these are the types of horror stories that you should get told as a player. It should be sort of part of the looking after them and taking a duty of care towards your players. I particularly liked his pre-match interview that he did as well. And he said, you know, whatever happens, I'm going to love every single minute of this. He is so proud. I thought he spoke really, really well, actually, pre-match. So yeah, I really enjoyed that game, and it was really sad that they didn't win it. But I was
disappointed they didn't even at least get a point, because that comeback deserved at least a point.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it did.
But fucking De Bruyne comes in at the last minutes, didn't he, and won the game. But you know, but why can't England play like that? Free flowing football. Just there's so many attacking options for England. I mean, I just don't get how we play so badly, and why it's always sideways, boring football.
Passion's a lot to do with it. I mean, Craig Bellamy's clearly got the passion for the job, managing his own country.
Yeah,
he was like that as a player, wasn't he? Let's be honest. And a lot of his problems came from frustration, especially at Newcastle when he was like part of a fantastic side that they shit down the drain when they sacked Bobby Robson and brought Graham Souness in.
Yeah, I mean, look. Bellamy's got a whole host of experience which he'll take into management, and I think that, you know, the Wales job is a big job for him, and he's doing fantastically well. But I just don't get how the way we play football. It seems to be with every single manager, they're more scared of losing than winning the game, and it's ridiculous, man. The players that we've got, we should be spanking most teams, spanking them. But I mean, Sam, we were talking about Joao Pedro then, and it looks like I think this deal will happen, providing they can work out a decent fee. Brighton at the moment sitting on £60 million, apparently. That's almost double what they paid for him. So is that reasonable, or would you say a little bit less for Pedro?
I do think a little bit less. We've got to think about how many minutes is he going to get. He's not going to be coming in as that sort of first choice or anything. I love that he wants to come to the club. Reading between the lines, he wants that move, which is great. But it's going to come down to that fee. I think the terms will be good set, but it's going to come down to the fee. I think a question I want to pose to the rest of you is, at what point do you think Newcastle start walking away from these crazy valuations and these prices that are getting put to us? Do we push? Do we pay out, or do we walk away and rely on plan B, C, D, E, and looking abroad for players? So we've been talking about this. I think abroad, but do we walk away or do we pay up?
It's a very good question, Alex. The thing is, you're seeing all these teams spending a lot of money on players. You know, when do Newcastle just turn around and say, well, let's just pay it and get the deal done? I know, you know, in reality, it's difficult to do that for every signing. But at the same time, you know, when is it that Newcastle United are going to go and say, right, just get the deal done and signed and let's get this squad together?
Once we've finished doing an internal transfer of the women's team to ourselves, we'll wait until we've done our shenanigans.
Yeah.
And then we'll pull the trigger on some signings, because apparently that's fine. So, but no, on a serious note, in terms of valuations, it's a complicated issue, and people tend to say that you've got to be careful, because once you overpay once, the horse has bolted and you'll get taken advantage of. Not necessarily. You can always do good dealings. One thing I was thinking about this while I was away, and I've not had this conversation with you guys. How do Manchester City seem to get such good prices for everybody? Have you seen the values that have been spent, like Nuri? You've got the Rangers as well, who is, you know, largely tipped as one of the better midfielders in Europe, and really, really astute signing for them. And he's 15 mil cheaper than what we paid for Sandro Tonali. I'm not quite sure how City are getting these players at these.
Billy's right as well. Ryan Cherky through the door as well. I mean,
for really good fees.
Yeah,
really
they got Haaland for 60, didn't they? And that I know it was a release clause, but still.
Wow, there'll be more. It will be more than that eventually, but they won the treble with him, so it kind of doesn't matter. He's paid for himself. But yeah, I don't know is the honest answer, because it looked like they did have to go through a phase of overpaying, and now it's just settled. You know, they knock on the door and say, we're Man City, come and join us and you'll win loads of stuff and play great football and be coached under Pep. And they just seem to get stuff done for most of the transfers they've had. I think I was expecting them to be 10, 20 mil more per player. It's crazy. But I think we will walk away from some of these transfers, definitely. With Joao Pedro as an example, I think as soon as it starts to go to 60 and beyond, we walk away, because we're in a position at the moment where we need to recruit for multiple roles, multiple positions this window. We desperately need to improve the squad. We've got the Champions League, we've got an aging squad, we've got gaps in it as well. We've got to go and put some money in maybe 4 areas at least. So yeah, we've got to walk away when it's right.
Yeah,
there's got to be a bit of a discount with Pedro and the fact that he had a fight on the training ground. They want him out of the club. Surely that takes some money off the bill.
Yeah. It's a bit mad, but listen, it's just Bob makes a good point here, and I was just about to make this point as well. I hate to be the one to tell you guys, but we have no right to think the valuation for Trafford or Pedro is too high. Sorry, if these clubs don't have to or don't want to sell, then it's their right to set the prices. Absolutely. Listen, I was just about to say, if I was managing one of these teams and I saw Newcastle coming, hey, you know,
we do have the right to think evaluation's too high, though.
Yeah,
we can have the opinion that someone's valued too highly. We can do that.
But the clubs are entitled to put a valuation on their players, whatever they want to. But I think with Joao Pedro, I think given what's happened at Brighton, right, with Joao Pedro and the off-field highly reported stuff that's gone on between the manager and Joao Pedro, and Newcastle coming in for him, you'd think, Sam, that Brighton would just say, right, let's negotiate with Newcastle United here. Let's see what we'll still try and get as much as we can for him, but it works best for all parties if he moves.
Yeah, that's got to come into the thinking. But ultimately, they need to make as much money as possible. So they're obviously going to try and push us, see what they can get, see where we're willing to go with it. But I think generally a rule of thumb is a player is only ever worth what another club is willing to pay for that person. It could be that they find their attributes off the pitch more endearing. It could be that it fits somebody's formation a little bit better, so they're willing to pay more to try and get that person in. So I'm very much of that mindset that if somebody's willing to pay it, then they're going to be willing to pay it. If not, then that's the point you walk away. What I would like to think is that we've got some really great people doing some negotiations with clubs, but we do have a tolerance level. What's the appetite? Because I don't want to waste too much time if we're not going to get them anywhere where we need to play. So I don't want to be paying a fortune over the odds because we're desperate. Knee-jerk signings, not for me.
I mean, Billy, look, Joao Pedro he's played for Brazil, so he's a Brazilian international. He's only 23 years old, and he's got plenty Premier League experience as well. Is that valuation too high? Or forwards always go for more money. We know that. Forwards tend to go for a lot more money. And the options that Joao Pedro would give us as well, is 60 million too much, or is that not sort of the going rate?
Ordinarily, it wouldn't be. It'd be the right price. But the fact, as I said earlier, the fact he had a punch-up on the training ground with Van Heck, and they want him out the club.
Yeah, anybody wants a punch-up with Van Heck.
I think they can expect to be, well, I'd offer 40. They say, no, give us something else. 50 tops I'd pay. But I think he's worth 60. Yeah. We'll be paying 60.
Just to give you guys context, Anthony Gordon got 11 goal contributions in just the Premier League alone. And we all kind of talk about 80, I think, is the kind of figure that gets banded around about Anthony Gordon. So that's 11 goal contributions, and that is in 2,400 minutes. Joao Pedro in less than 2,000 minutes, so about 500 minutes less, got 16 goal contributions in just the Premier League, so considerably more. Wasn't just playing as a forward, was playing out wide, sometimes behind the striker. And so considerably fewer minutes. 16 goal contributions. He's Brazilian. It kind of fits with the theme of the squad as well. We've got a couple of Brazilians. We've got that exotic spine. Yeah, I can see. I could. To be fair, 60.
I never thought I'd hear that tonight. We've got an exotic spine.
We have got an exotic spine.
Agent Texas Paul Pedro said he would only come if he starts over Isak. Who said that?
What he said was he'd be quite happy to play on the right wing. That's
he did. He said he wanted to play. There was one article I read today saying he would be perfectly happy playing on the right wing because it's a position he's played before and really enjoyed, and does think he could do a job there. I think, it's all this bullshit paper talk that's coming out with quotes from players that they've never made. And I genuinely think that is Southern media coming out with that just so it can say unrest Isak. So if we sign Pedro, that means we're selling Isak. It's bullshit.
He's not an out-and-out striker, though. He's not a nine.
He's not.
Like
he's not.
He's played so many minutes deep and as a winger, and I reckon he could probably play as an 8 as well. Very sort of Maddison-esque.
We were saying, Alex, it gives Eddie more options as well.
Yeah, 100%. He could probably play as an 8, as a 10, as a winger, go dovetail with Isak, or go start instead of him and rest him. I reckon he'd get 25, 30 appearances comfortably if he joined us.
Yeah.
Because we're in extra competition. So
super chat in from C Time 90. Any word on Johan Bakayoko? Young left-footed right-sided winger with a high ceiling. Seems like a perfect fit to me. Why aren't we pushing for him?
Someone linked with him earlier in the week. I can't think who it was. It weren't so.
No, but we were linked with him.
Was it Forest? It might have been Forest.
We haven't been linked with him for a long time. I've not seen any good links.
It's all quiet on Bakayoko at the minute, to be fair. It's very quiet. Peter Gardwaite says, if we want to compete at the highest level, we will have to pay these fees and, crucially, the wage demands to get supposed elite players.
Yeah, but we can't because of the PSR.
Well, I do believe that we will have to.
In the end,
wage structure may have to change.
Ask Liverpool for a loan to buy on Harvey Elliott. That would work.
Yeah. Apparently, Bakayoko linked with Brentford.
Brentford, right?
Of course, this again.
Well, I don't know how to do that. I haven't got a manager, so.
Well, by the way, Scott Parker favourite to get that job, guys. Scott Parker.
Oh dear, they're going down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen all of this, by the way, about all of the newly promoted teams are now a lot more confident about this next season, because a lot of these clubs, Wolves have suddenly just lost all of their top talent. Brentford have lost their manager and potentially their top goal scorer. So you've got a few of these middling teams that now look like they might be struggling. Did I dream that Marco Silva's gone as well? Or is he?
No, he's not gone yet.
No, he hasn't gone.
He's not gone. I think he was rumoured to be going. But there's a lot of these little middling teams that have massively fallen off unless they sort it out this summer. So some of the newly promoted clubs could actually stay in the league if they sort themselves out.
Yeah. Well, before we talk about the final player of the night, I don't know whether were you on the show, Alex? Were you watching the show that we did when we look back at our predictions?
Oh, for fuck's sake!
No, I wasn't. I didn't see that.
It was dreadful.
Did you do mine?
Oh yes, we did, mate. And it weren't great because you had Spurs third, and you massively bigged them up. It was funny watching the show actually, but we all did terribly. I think
Spurs the season before were first all the way up until Christmas. I thought they were going to kick on.
Well, you did actually win. You had 3 predictions correct.
4.
4, sorry. And we had me and Billy had. Me and Sam had 2, and Billy fucked up.
Did you all predict Newcastle to finish?
Third,
I said third.
Third or fourth, all of us. So
I think Billy, didn't you say? I think a couple of us said we'd win the Carabao Cup, didn't we?
We all did.
We all did. Sam also got the FA Cup, bitch. Sam said Crystal Palace. Can you believe that?
Really?
Yeah.
What a shout!
Yeah.
I pulled that out of my arse. I have no idea.
I had Southampton in 13th.
Hey.
Oh yeah. We all had Arsenal to win the Premier League as well. By the way, so it was a fucking disaster. You may want to go back and watch that show, Alex, just for a laugh.
I think I predicted Liverpool to be like 5th because I thought they were gonna drop off a tiny bit with
I
the
think
transitional.
I think we both did. I mean, you both did, mate.
Yeah. It's a show you should go back and watch, Alex. The show we did during the week. I think was it Monday or Tuesday? We did.
I think
that
I
one?
predicted West Ham
Monday.
like 8th as well.
Yeah, you did. It was funny when I was listening to the original show and listening to everybody talking about their predictions. Of course, Sam messaged me her predictions because she couldn't make the show. But the way you and Billy were talking about certain teams, and I was absolutely pissing myself laughing because the way you were going through it, Alex, you know how you like to, delve in deeper than what we do as to why you've picked that position. It just failed, mate. So the moral of the story is, whenever we predict anything, go the opposite. Completely the opposite, because we on the Toon Review are not good at predicting.
I think a lot of the influencers had a shocker on YouTube and pundits, and they were all awful. So
we're not influencers, Alex. I hate that
whatever
word.
we are.
I think I was
fans
under the influence
on a show.
We are a Newcastle United YouTube channel, and that's it. Other people like to call themselves influencers.
Well, yeah, I mean, I have a day job. I'm definitely not an influencer.
No, none of us are on here. We just do a channel.
You speak for yourself. I'm influencing every day of the fucking year for me.
And what are you influencing people on, Billy?
Fuck you, anything they like.
How to take a nap and miss your show.
Oh,
yeah, I'm brilliant at that. I'm excellent at that.
Anyway, quickly before we end, guys. By the way, we are near we are less than 700 away now from 40,000. So, Alex, we have decided that we're going to have a big 40,000 sub party when we do get there. So, I mean, it's pointless asking you.
In the Northeast or on YouTube?
On YouTube as well, but we may have a sort of meet and greet, up here at the channel sponsor Mamaroo, of course.
Tell Steve we can do it up there.
I haven't mentioned it to Steve yet, so he may well be listening and having a heart attack. Where am I going to put everybody? But we'll sort something out. I know we will. Right, we've got a super chat from Graham Sinclair. Keith Andrews 1-9 to be Brentford manager.
Keith Andrews.
Who's that?
Who the fuck's Keith Andrews? Is that him who used to play for Ipswich?
I think he played for Wolves, didn't he? I think he's an Irishman.
He's the set piece coach at Brentford currently.
Where's he from?
It's the same one. Irish, yeah.
Yeah.
Play for Wolves?
He was.
Didn't he used to be MK on Sky for a while?
He was MK Dons, Ireland, Sheffield United, all as assistant managers, and then he became the Brentford technical coach.
Who did he play for, Stato?
Who did he play for? Transfer everybody. As a player, he played for Hull City, MK Dons, Blackburn, Ipswich, West Brom, Bolton, Brighton, Watford, everybody.
Wolves. Say Wolves.
And Wolves.
No, thank you.
And
he used to do This Is Your Life years ago.
He did.
He's flown them 5,000 miles.
Oh dear. Anyway, yeah, I'm not going to ask Alex what he'll do to hit 40k because he still hasn't done anything for the cup final win yet. So
Ooh. Oh yeah, I do want some people to give me some help with my tattoo as well. If there anybody who is a tattoo artist who could get in touch, please email Paul.
Paul Gallant does tattoos, apparently.
Because I'll get it done in the Northeast. I'm not getting a magpie done down here. It's got to be up there.
Yeah.
Right, just quickly, guys. The plane spotters were out a couple of days ago with regards to Alanga. Now, people were putting pictures of planes and private jets on social media.
What does he need to get on a plane for?
Well, listen, there was a couple of Northeast reporters stating that possibly Alanga's representatives were at the training ground and came by helicopter because there was something of a helicopter on flight radar that landed near the training ground. It then returned back to Nottingham just near the city ground. So who the hell knows? But Alanga's there's a lot of teams after Alanga, but is he one, Sam, that you would like now at Newcastle?
Yeah, I think for always for the right price. But I think just the connection with Isak would be great. I think he's a really good player. I think he's going to give us what we need. So yeah, I am all for that signing. To be honest, the people that we're linked with, yes, it's going to be an expensive window, but damn, that makes us really threatening for Champions League.
Indeed. Do you think Elanga will happen, Billy? Alex, do you think it'll happen?
I'm less convinced by this one. I think there's a reasonable amount of substance in it because we've bid for him before, but I don't know. I'm not convinced. I've just had a look at his agency as well. Panthera. They're based in London.
Get in.
London, eh?
Well, it's got an H in it as well. It's got an H in it, so I don't think it's them. James Mully, Zacharias Teichman. No, they all live in London. They're all in London, and the business is in London. Why would they drive up to Nottingham to get in a helicopter to then go to Newcastle to then go back to Nottingham to then? Why?
Well, I don't know where the helicopter originally started, Alex. Just the flight radar. You know, if you had it on that particular flight plan, it went from Nottingham to Newcastle and Newcastle back to Nottingham. So
it's not Air Force One. It's just a couple of guys who represent Elanga. They're based in London.
The thing with Elanga is, he wouldn't be my first choice, but if he was the one we ended up with, then I'd be happy with it because I think he's a good player. But I think there's better options. I think there's better players.
He's not my first choice at all. I've put 3 or 4 in front of him.
Well, we'll discuss that over the next few days, no doubt. We've got a late super chat coming in from Andrew Grange. Hi, guys. Just a quick super chat to say you guys are great and I've been loving the channel for ages. Has Toon Army been more transformative than Isak this past season?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Well, transformative, yes. Impactful.
Maybe not.
I mean, Isak scored in a cup final and got us a lot of goals, whereas Toon Army was transformative, but it depends what verb you use as to whether that's right or wrong.
Oh, listen,
it's
bloody 8 o'clock on a Friday night. I'm not going into verbs and shite, Alex. I mean, Christ on a bike, man. How we?
I'm not going into verbs and or shite.
You know my wordage, Billy. It's I said how it is.
It's quality.
Hat-trick with a super chat just saying meow. I presume that's aimed at you, Sam. Just for I can't
very angry with me.
I can't see anybody saying meow to me, Billy or Alex. To be fair,
Kevin's really angry with me that I don't want to get a tattoo in Northamptonshire.
Kevin, that's very aggressive.
Because I don't want to. I'd rather get it in the northeast because probably the tattoo artists up there have done a lot of magpies because, you know.
And I want to film it, to be fair. So, you know.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I want to see the pain in Alex's eyes as that needle thrashes into him numerous times.
Oh,
the eyes are dead. Don't worry. There's not going to be anything.
We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, that is it for tonight, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you have enjoyed it, as usual, hit that thumbs up button, guys. Very, very important to us that we keep those coming in. And of course, if you're new, as we just said, we are rapidly rising towards the big 4-0. With your help, we can get there sooner rather than later. So you haven't done so yet and you like what you see on the channel, please do subscribe. It is completely free of charge. The only thing we ask you to do is make sure that you hit the notification bell so you never miss any of the uploads that we do or our live shows, of course. We will be having a big hurrah, lots of prizes for 40,000 as well. So please help us get there sooner rather than later. Thank you to Mamaroo Records for continuing to sponsor the channel. Based in Whitley Bay Town Centre for all your music needs, whether it be CD, vinyl, merchandise, a bit of sport merch, gift cards, etc. Pop in and see Steve. Tell him you're a TTR viewer and he'll do you a cracking deal. If you can't get into the shop, check them out online. That's pinned at the top of the description. Please try and support your local companies as well. He's fighting against massive online companies as well. So give him a shout. And of course, also at the top of the description is the link to our website, thetoonreview.com, for all your Toon Review merchandise. All sorts on there, including Alex's favourite drinkware. So please do go and check it out.
Underwear.
Not yet. Thank you for all your orders as well. Much appreciated. It really does help the channel as well. Shut up! So that is the toonreview.com. Get yourself something nice, family, friends. And as I say, it supports the channel. Thank you for your super chats, memberships, mods. Thank you, Sam, Alex, and Billy. Thank you very much. And of course, to you guys out there, thank you for spending an hour or so with us on a Friday night. If there's any news breaks over the weekend, of course, we'll bring it to you. But the next live show should be Sunday night, and we'll go through some more players linked and fun dabby stuff like that. Dabby, what the hell? Anyway, I'm going. It's after 8 o'clock on a Friday. I'm starting to lose my mind. Good night, everybody. Take care.
I wear the lads and lasses.
Come back and check out some green.
Ah!